Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. In case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a nice full body flexibility practice. I'm not going to use any props today. You're going to need just a little bit of space to move, and let's get started. So I thought we could begin today on our tummies. So if you want to come and lay down on your belly, you might just pay a little bit of attention to your legs and maybe your big toes can lightly touch and your heels can kind of fall out to the sides a little bit. And maybe you will stack one palm on top of the other, kind of making a pillow for maybe your forehead or for your cheek. And then you may even just take your hips for a gentle sway side to side as you let your eyes close and start to slow down that sway of the hips if you added it in. And just relax through your shoulders completely. Relax through your jaw, your forehead. And with the next inhale you take, feel your belly trying to expand, pressing into the ground beneath you. Slowly letting that breath go, softening through your body a little bit more. And just taking these first few moments of our practice today to slow everything down. Let go of your day. Let go of whatever you have to do later. We're going to stay on our tummies, but you can start to bring that sway of the hips back in. And you might even just bring some space between the feet and the legs. Maybe the rock of the hips can get a little bit bigger. I want you to lift your chest just slightly so that you can move your arms. Bring your arms out a little wider. Keep your elbows bent. Your palms can face down. So sway of the hips. And then take a look over at your left arm and make it a nice cactus arm. So if your elbow can be in line with your shoulder and your palm facing down at the top corner of your mat, or maybe you're off your mat like I am, and you might continue to sway the hips. We're going to take this further. If you want to, you can start to roll over onto your left side, maybe rotating your hips here. Maybe your right leg can sweep past the left one. Maybe it can touch down on the floor. Maybe it's your big toe. But feeling a nice stretch that left arm and shoulder. Maybe pushing into your right hand slightly just to hold you in place. And then let the next inhale you take bring you back over all the way onto your belly. Set up your cactus arm with your right arm. Palm facing down, elbow in line with shoulder. The left hand can kind of move here. You might rock the hips a couple times, and then maybe a big rock or roll takes you over onto your right side more. Maybe your left leg, your top leg, kind of sweeps past the bottom one. The more you rotate through the hips, the more you'll feel the twist. The more you roll onto your right side, the deeper the shoulder stretch too. So find a sweet spot that feels good for you. And then with the next inhale you take, slowly come back over onto your belly. Stack your palms again. Rest your forehead or cheek. Maybe sway the hips just a couple more times. We can find our forearms when you're ready to lift your chest even higher. Tucking your elbows under your shoulders for Sphinx. Palms facing down. You can have your legs nice and snug together for more. Love through the low back. Wider for less. But take an inhale. Start to squeeze everything. Push your hips into the ground as you lift your chest a little more. Drop your shoulders from your ears. Feel the love building in the low back. Moving up the spine, maybe through the core, the belly. Stay here for an inhale, active, pushing the ground away from you. As you exhale, melt it back down, lower your chest, stack your palms again. Maybe take a gentle rock or sway of the hips. When you are feeling good, to bring your hands under your shoulders, push yourself all the way up into tabletop. Once you get there, maybe a few extra sways of the hips. Sway in the hips, never gets old. Spread your fingers out wide. Push your palms into your mat. If you are swaying your hips side to side, you can slow that down. Let's extend our right leg back behind us. Tuck the toes. Push the ball of your foot into your mat. Now you can keep your legs straight behind you. You could walk it over to the left side. Continue to push the foot into the ground. You can stay here or you can start to bend your right knee. Tuck it beside the left one. Give your inner legs a little squeeze together. And then you could relax through the feet. You might even try to bring the feet closer towards one another, squeezing the inner legs together slightly. See how close you can get your legs. And then maybe from here, you'll walk your hands back towards your knees and see how much you can lower your hips towards our heels, because our feet are together. This is not cow face. Our feet are together. So everything's squeezing together. Just sending the hips back a little bit though, or as much as you can. And then slowly come back. If you did walk your hands towards your legs, walk them back out in front. And then slowly uncross your legs. If you did bend the knee, bring your right leg back behind you and then onto the knee as well, into your tabletop again. Maybe a gentle sway of the hips. Shake it out a little. And then switching sides, left leg can extend. Push the ball of your foot into the ground. Stretch your ankle, your calf. You might stay here. You might walk the foot off to the right side. Continue to keep the leg long. Or bend the knee. Slide it to the outside of the right one. Start to squeeze the inner legs together a little bit. Maybe try to bring the feet together a little bit more too. How does that feel on your hips, on your legs? You might start to walk your hands back towards your knees. Maybe you don't get anywhere. I had a lot more movement on the other side than this side. And even that was very small. So if you are intending to send your hips back a little bit here, start to relax that. We can send our left leg back out and then slide it in so that we end up in our tabletop again. Take a gentle sway of the hips side to side. And then let's bring our right foot forwards. Let's set up a lunge. So right foot forwards, sinking into the hips. If you want a little cushion for your back knee, feel free to roll your mat over, or maybe you actually have something to place under your knee. But feeling that left hip flexor. See if you can kind of pull your front foot and your back knee towards one another, just ever so slightly. They're not going to move, but it's going to deepen that stretch. Nice, Ricky guys. Stay here in your lunge for just another breath. And then you can slowly send your hips back just enough to lengthen through the right leg, and maybe try to drop your foot down. Push your toes, the ball of your foot down into your mat. Stretch your ankle, your calf a little bit, maybe dropping your chest towards your knee. Stay for just another breath in your half splits. And then bend your knee again. Bend your knee back into your lunge a little bit, and then tabletop as gracefully as you're able to get to tabletop. Maybe a gentle sway of the hips. And then your left foot can come forwards for your lunge. Keeping your hands down today. Sinking into the hips. Maybe rolling your mat over for your back knee. And then if you want it, just see how it feels as you try to slide your front foot and your back knee together. Just a little bit extra if you want it. Stay for just one more breath in your lunge, and then you can slowly send your hips back, bring some length into the left leg, and maybe you will try to drop your toes, your foot down, maybe dropping your chest towards your knee too. Feel the love through that left leg though. Let your shoulders fall from your ears. Just one more breath here before you start to bend back into your front knee. And maybe coming all the way for tabletop after that. A gentle sway of the hips if you'd like. And then let's cross our ankles, have a seat. Let's bring our legs out in front, but maybe starting here with just a hug of the knees, a little rock side to side. We're going to be sending our left leg out long, keeping the right leg bent, the foot beside that left leg, so the inside of it. You can point your left toes up, bring some more length into your spine. Take an inhale. With the exhale, we're going to twist towards the right side. You can hug your right knee with your left arm if you want. You might even take your right fingertips to the floor behind you. Push into them. Point your left toes back up when they start to relax on you. Feel the twist through the spine. Using an inhale, start to turn your chest back to face forwards. Send your right leg out. Your left leg can bend in. Plant the foot, start to lengthen the spine. Point your right toes up and inhale here. As you exhale, twisting to the left side. Hug your knee and maybe push your left hand into the ground behind you. Point your right toes up again. Enjoy a few breaths here. Keeping the spine long and strong, but also breathing softly. Relaxing the shoulders, the face. And use your next inhale to slowly come back through center. You can either send your left leg out next to the right one or bend both of your legs. Give them a little shake if you want to. But then bend your knees if you haven't done so already. You might wrap your arms under your legs or on top of your legs, but we're going to try and hug our knees here. You might keep your legs nice and bent. You might also walk the feet further away from you. Bring as much length into the legs as you'd like. Now our arms, if they get in the way, they're underneath your knees. You could take them out, but they also help us keep a nice little bend through the knees so that maybe you can relax through the ankles and continue to hug the legs. And maybe even let your head get heavier. Lightly tucking your chin towards your collarbone. And if you do still have your arms wrapped around your legs, you might take them out and lift the chest to bring some more length into the spine, but you could stay tipping forwards, maybe pointing your toes up, bringing a bit more length into the legs, lengthening the spine. And then let another inhale bring you all the way up so that you're sitting nice and tall. If you've got your legs nice and long, start to bend them again. We're going to lay down on our backs. Maybe bringing the knees with you towards the chest. Taking a gentle rock or sway side to side. Massaging the back a little bit. And if you have your feet lifted up right now, slowly bring them down. Heel toe your feet out wider, and then let your knees fall to the middle. Maybe turning the toes in slightly. Maybe resting your hands on your belly. You can let your eyes close if you haven't done so already. Feel your back pressing into the ground beneath you. Feel your feet, your head. Every part of you that is touching the ground, let it get heavy. You have your knees falling towards one another. Slowly open them up, maybe heel toe the feet in once or twice until you find a neutral place for the hips and maybe the knees want to sway side to side. Massaging the low back. Then one leg at a time, you can send your legs out long, your feet out wide. Maybe you'll keep your hands on your belly, noticing the gentle movement as you breathe. Settling into your Shavasana and staying here for as long as you have time for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, namaste.